On this episode of Rebrand Review, we're talking about music in the San Francisco Symphony.
Is it music for your eyes?
Hi, I'm Tony Hardy, founder and director of Canny Creative.
I'm Glen Millen, creative director here at Canny Creative.
That's new.
Indeed it is.
That's new.
Yeah.
Glen's been made the creative director of Canny Creative. Welcome to the Rebrand Review. Today we're talking about the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra. I actually think this rebrand came out quite a while ago. COVID lockdown, we're making excuses. We haven't been on top form with a video. Who is this rebrand designed by?
By Collins, based in San Francisco. So essentially it's a nice home brand if you want to go with that. But personally, to go off the bat, I absolutely love it.
And I'm on the fence about it. I honestly can't decide if I like it or not. The old logo, let's start there. San Francisco Symphony, written in Trajan Pro of all the fonts.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not great. It's pretty bog standard. And I'm not massively sure what the actual building has to do with it.
I'm guessing that's where they were based.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's a building. It could be classed as a piano if you want to go with that on some weird curve. But
looks just like a strange colour scheme.
Yeah.
We don't do our research very well here at Rebrand Review. We're going to get better at this, but hey ho, the new branding, let's be honest, it's much, much better. They've brought in a variable font, so this new font Dynamo has been brought in to create a really interesting typographic logo. And the way that Collins have explained it on their project page is essentially the orchestra are experimental, they do some crazy wacky things. So Collins have brought in this font that can be scaled up, it can be scaled down, left, right, diagonal, all sorts of fun shit going on with it. And all in all,
I think it just fits perfectly with music. If you think about, obviously, you get the sound waves and everything like that. And I think the variable font itself is just width and depth, and it really does. You've seen some of the animations and elements like that. Like the way they do it is it's beautiful.
It's been receiving rave reviews online. People are absolutely chomping at the bit. They love it. It's getting lauded as the best rebrand going. Blah 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 blah. I still I get it. I don't know if I like it, but I will say it's hella appropriate. It's massively on point for what it's all about. Experimental, crazy, doing something a bit different, going above and beyond. Yeah, it works undoubtedly, but does it appeal to me? No. But would I go to the Symphony in San Francisco? No.
Yeah.
So it's probably not for me, which again, that's a good thing about branding. It should be designed for the target audience. And personally, I think they probably lap that stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a little look at the animation that's been released. I mean, I'm pretending we haven't already watched this. We definitely have. So yeah, let's dive in, find the animation, and kapow. See, when it animates, right, I absolutely love it. I think when it's moving around, it's doing its experimental thing, it's much, much better.
Yeah.
That to me, I don't know if this is...
Do you not find that some of the animations, even them ones, where it's not set up exactly how the logo's set up, actually look better than the
logo itself, yeah. I also, on that note, I find the logo works better when it's white on black than black on white.
Yeah.
I think that's better. But I don't know if this is a symptom of growing up in a town full of chavas, scallies, or whatever you call them in there, whichever part of the world you live in. But it just reminds us of the Lonsdale logo.
Oh, yeah.
It's deeper at one side than it is at, and there's something about it. I just keep saying Lonsdale.
Lonsdale or Everlast.
Yeah, exactly that. No fear.
Yeah.
When it's animated, it works an absolute treat.
Yeah. So, colours. I quite like them, and I know you're going to disagree with it, but I absolutely love them. I think they've got a nice contrast in most of them, the blues, the purples. They've just went for everything. They've done exactly what they've done with the logo in terms of the fonts, went experimental, tried some different stuff rather than it just being the bog standard. Right, we'll just go normal colour basis.
See, for me, it's that thing that's happened the last year or two. Every company's done that. They've went, oh, let's get some colours that don't really work and put them together and call it work.
Yeah.
And eBay have done it. Not Shopify, Spotify. have done it, and that other one, Fiverr.
Yeah, I was going to say I remember because you didn't like the Fiverr one because I had them sick looking colours, but I think these work a lot better.
It's sick in the UK. It's not the same as sick in the USA.
Yeah,
sick actually means
down.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the colour palette. However, what I am a big fan of is when you get these variable weight fonts and all these sorts of different cool looking arrangements, you always like, as a designer, I always think, how the hell are our clients going to use this long term? It's like really difficult to make good design follow through consistently forever. Yeah. But they've made this online font generator, so the marketing department can just go in, type in what they need. I can't even pretend I know what would happen at the symphony orchestra. They can put in Mozart or Beethoven, and then bam, 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 play around with the font. It's good to go download, and they're off to the races. Like, that's a pretty cool.
I think that needs to be the next step in just general design. Being able to do something like that, so whatever client you have can just pick it up and use it, and it can be as creative looking as it needs to be, or how you would create it in basically your design agency, rather than it being, well, this is great for the titles that we've done, and that initial design, as soon as it leaves your design agency, it just becomes a matter of this isn't physically possible anymore, which I think that needs to be the next step, the way we can transfer over.
Transferring things from excellent looking to keeping them excellent looking long
and I
term.
think that's a big step.
Yeah, no, it's a big step in the right direction. Now, let's talk about treatments. I genuinely can't read that.
No, I can't. No.
Like, I've looked at it, I've rotated my head, and now I've figured it out. It says summer overlaid with spring. It's a big poster for the side of the building. I just think we're going to need to be really, really careful around how they utilise that treatment. I
think this is where this tips me over the edge to the point of the colours. I really like the colours being slightly different. And as I know you say, obviously, it's what everybody's doing. A lot of people do similar things like that, but I think that pushes on the accessibility and the legibility issues to the point where I am all for nice design. But when you physically can't read it, it then starts to become a use case of just going, well, are you just doing this because it looks good rather than trying to do it for solving a problem?
There's a few issues, not issues, there's a few instances, here, where like they're using them on these posters on like the billboards, and I think that works. I'm pretty sure though that would get, if this was designed for web, that blue and white moss one would definitely get flagged for accessibility issues.
Yeah.
But what I will say is when that type animates, and like I said at the beginning, I think it looks great. So when this is going around in the circle, when this is scaling up and down, all the animated stuff looks bloody excellent.
Do you not find it quite nice how you go print and then you go web, and from the examples that you've seen, a lot of the print stuff seems to be much brighter. Yeah. Whereas a lot of the web stuff seems to have actually went more dull, and that seems to be the total opposite to what you would normally do.
Yeah.
You normally use the web to be able to bring out them brighter, more vibrant colours.
Remember, you flipped it on the head of Collins. Massively experimenting. All right, in summary, the more I look at it, the more I like it. I can't get on board with the colours, but the experimental nature, the way it wraps, the way it goes into all the different treatments, I can't help but like, and it's a fantastic job by Collins.
Yeah, I have to say I am the same. I like the colours, I don't care what you say. I really do. I think there is some accessibility issues and legibility issues there, but that's nothing that can be easily solved. And I think when people start to say that their posters can't be read, they may quite quickly change that.
There are some really great treatments of it online as well, where they use it in black and white, and that also looks great. I think it's fair to say this rebrand absolutely blows the original brand out of the water.
Yeah.
And basically, onto the scores. So, thinking and concept for me, it's flexible, it's experimental, it matches the orchestra. Is it an orchestra, the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra? That's right, isn't it?
I'm hoping so.
The thinking and concept for San Francisco Symphony for me, easy, 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Visual representation, although there is a little bit of legibility issues, I think that is basically what marks it down half a point for me. But 4 out of 5.
Brand mark, there's not really a logo mark as such. It's a full typographic logo. Again, because it's so flexible, because it's so great, I can't help but give it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, that rolls straight into the typography as well. I think the variable font, the use of the variable font, the ability for a marketing department to actually come in and do something with it rather than it just be very much for the designers and then everything else sort of gets left behind. We're sticking at a 5 for typography.
And finally, colour palette. I'm glad I get to score this one. I've been a little bit fair. I'd probably give this a 1 or a 2. I've rounded it up. I brought it up to a 3 just because, well, the creative in the team likes it, so it's got to be worth something. So 3 for the colour palette. That brings a grand score, the grand total in at 4.5 out of 5. Maybe one of the highest scoring rebrands on Rebrand Review.
Something.
Cadbury could possibly be there, but definitely it's up there. Ooh, and Masterclass. Masterclass was also very good. But 4.5 out of 5 for the San Francisco Symphony. I've been Tony Hardy.
I've been Glen Millen.
This has been Rebrand Review. Like, comment, subscribe below, and we'll see you next time.